What's up? So today I'm going to be filming a really exciting video, and this is going to be my very first paranormal type video, which I should make a lot of because honestly I have a lot of weird things that have happened to me and that happen to me all the time. This video is actually a collab with MegCat here on YouTube, and I freaking love her videos so much. I've been watching her for a while now and she's super sassy. But yeah, if you guys like my style of videos, then I'm sure you will like hers. So if you guys want to see her paranormal story about how her work was haunted also, I will have her video linked down below so that you guys can check that one out after this one. Also, I'm filming outside right now, so sorry if you hear any background noise, but this is the only good lighting that I have right now, so we're gonna work with it. So, to start off my story, as most of you know, I worked at Hollister. A lot of my subscribers are actually from my old Hollister videos, so if you are one of those people that found me through my Hollister videos, what's up? You guys have been watching me for a while then, probably. But yeah, I used to work at Hollister, and when I worked there, believe it or not, my store was haunted, and I know that sounds crazy, like,
very seriously, it's in a mall, it's not haunted.
But just wait and listen to the story. Okay, so to start off, when I first started working at Hollister, this was a while back. I was 18 years old, and I'm 22 now. So when I first started working there, I would do the morning shift. When you work at Hollister and you open, you're there before the mall is open, and you're usually there with a manager, and you kind of clean. I don't know if they still do it this way, but this is how it was when I worked there. You clean, and you're most of the time by yourself on the floor, just cleaning, you know, doing your thing, while the managers are usually in the back doing like paperwork and phone calls and stuff. I noticed that while I was cleaning in there, I always felt so creeped out. Like, seriously, I would be cleaning and I would keep looking behind me like someone was behind me or looking at me, and I was like really scared to be out on the floor by myself, and I couldn't figure out why, because I would tell myself, you know, Grace, this is a mall, like, it's not haunted, like, nobody died in here, like, it's fine. Yeah, I was always really creeped out to the point where I never wanted to open. Like, I told my manager, I was like, I really don't like opening, like, I would rather close. So I became a regular closer, and weird things would happen whenever I would close, and most of the time it would be me and another person closing with a manager again, and the mall would be closed. So of course I always had the creepy feelings. I hated going in our stock room by myself. If nobody was back there, I hated going back there. Like, I was so scared to go back there, and I hated being on the floor by myself. So when you close at Hollister, you have to close the front porch. Like, we had a porch at our store. It's not like that at every store, but we had a porch. So we had to close the porch. We would like take down the little tent type of thing and lock it, and then we would push the mannequins really close together in the middle of the porch, like behind this table that we had, and then we would lock the side doors so nobody could get on this porch without unlocking it. We would move our shut up. Are you done? Okay, so just ignore that dog barking and now that alarm going off. Okay. One specific night, I was there with two other workers and a manager. We're like folding down the store like normal, and all of a sudden our alarm starts going off, like our sensormatic starts going off, and that only happens, of course, if there's merchandise with sensors on it. If any of the sensors go into the sensormatics, those alarms will go off. So where they're located is, they were located through the door that was locked. Basically, the mannequins are right here on the porch, and there are side stairs that go down to the store entrances where there's a door on each side, and they're both locked. So everyone's freaking out, like, why are the sensormatics going on? Like, there's no way that could be happening. I was like, you know what, I'll go check it out. So I go onto the porch and I unlock the side door and I open it. Two of the mannequins are right there, like right in front of the sensormatic, and I'm the one that put them away, so I know that they were not there. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So I just push them back and the sensormatics shut off, and I lock up the side and go back to folding down the store. About 20 minutes later, guess what happens? They start going off again. And this time, I open up the same side door, and I'm like, okay, the mannequins aren't there. And I look on the other side, and those mannequins are on that sensormatic, on the opposite side. So I'm like, dude, who is doing this? Like, I was freaked out. I go over there, and I pull them back again, and I make sure this time that they are, like, secure, like, they're not moving. They are all shoved together, and they're not moving in front of those sensormatics again. I go back inside, and everyone's like, dude, why is that happening? And obviously I did not know, so I was like, dude, I don't know, it's weird, let's just finish folding down the store and get out of here. So we're all folding down the store, and this time it took a little longer than the first 2 times it happened, but it happened again. The sensormatic started going off again, and this time I was like freaked out, so I was like, I'm not going up there alone, like somebody come with me. So one of my coworkers came up to the front with me, and this time there was a mannequin on each side in front of the sensormatics. So I'm thinking, what could possibly be moving these mannequins in front of the sensormatics? Like, this is not a game. I don't know who is doing this, but no one could have been doing it. So we were all really freaked out. This started occurring all the time after this point. This would randomly happen on random shifts where I was closing. The sensormatics would just randomly go off while we were working, and it was very strange. But the weird thing is, it never happened while we weren't there. Like, after we'd close up for the night and leave the store, we would never come back in the morning to the sensormatics going off with mannequins in front of it. Like, it only happened while we were there, and it was so strange. It happened all the time. And when I was still new there, I remember asking someone, I was like, do you ever feel creeped out in the store? And he was like, yeah, all the time. And I was like, why? Like, is it haunted? Because I feel like it's haunted. And he was like, it is. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, it's haunted. You didn't know that? And I was like, well, how could it be haunted? And he was like, well, back in the day, this used to be a Disney store, which it was. I remember when it was the Disney store when I was a little kid and I would go in there. And he said, back when this was the Disney store, a little boy actually died in the stockroom. And I was like, BS. Like, I did not believe that at all. I was like, okay, this dude's just trying to scare me. And he was like, yeah, he died, like, I don't want to say how the little boy died, but he had a health condition and the paramedics were called, but he died. They were trying to resuscitate him in our stockroom. So he told me that, and I didn't believe him until I asked a few more people, and they all said the same thing. And then I asked my mom, and she said the same thing. So I guess legend has it that a little boy died in our stockroom. We would always call the ghost the little boy. My second story was super, super weird. This is probably the creepiest thing that happened while I worked there. So one time I was closing again, and I came out from the stock room, and right in front of me, like a few yards in front of me, there was a closet. I walk out of the stock room, and I'm texting on my phone, and you know how out of your peripherals you can see people? So I saw someone crouching down, like folding in that closet. And I thought it was my coworker, so I'm not gonna say her name, but yeah, I thought it was my coworker. So I was just talking to her, like looking down at my phone, and then I walk into the next room, and I say something else, and I hear her from the room way on the opposite side of the store, and she goes, "What? I can't hear you." And I was like, what? She's like in the front of the store. So I walk back into the room I was previously in, and no one's in there. I walk into the room that's right next to that one, no one's in there. So I go up to the front and I'm like, were you just in that back room folding? And she was like, no, I was wondering who you're talking to because I can't hear you. And I was like, oh, I definitely thought you were in there because I literally saw a person crouched down folding clothes. Like, who was that? Was that you? Please tell me that was you. And she was like, that wasn't me. So we were really freaked out, and we stuck together for the rest of that close, and we would not let each other leave each other's sight. So that was very, very creepy. That just instantly, my heart just sunk when I realized that the person I had seen in there was not her. And I really, to this day, don't know what that was, but it was weird. Okay, so then, another time, at nighttime when we would close, we would always, like, turn on our own music. So one time, our favorite CD went missing, and none of us knew where it went. We were asking each other, like, where's this CD? Like, I want to listen to this specific song. And that song was actually the, like, she practiced in the mirror. It's like that song that starts out with whistling, and it's like, I can't whistle, so I'm not even going to try. Like she do it in the mirror. Whatever. Okay, so that song. We're all talking about how we want to listen to that song and we can't find our favorite CD. We're looking everywhere. We cannot find it. And we look in the CD player. It's not in there. We literally cannot find this CD anywhere. We just want to listen to that specific song. So we give up and there's no music playing. We're all just like folding clothes, and then me and one of my guy friends that also worked there, we were standing at the cash wrap just folding some piles, and you'll never guess what happens next. All of a sudden, we quietly hear the start of that song, the whistling, the... We hear that song, and me and the guy look at each other like, there's no way. Because me and him were the ones looking everywhere for this CD, and first of all, how does it turn on by itself? Second of all, that song was in the middle of the CD. It's not like it was the first song or something. That song was in the middle of the CD. Yeah! Okay, none of us could explain that, and we were all freaking out, and we ran in that room and turned it off, and we were just freaking out. One night I was closing by myself, but with a manager, and I just specifically remember her like calling my name into the stock room. So I go in the stock room and she's like, hey, like I'm almost done, but can you like wait with me back here because I feel really freaked out. And I was like, yeah, like I always feel freaked out back here. So she finishes up her stuff and we go to the cash wrap to clock out. We clock out and then we both got this weird feeling and we looked at each other and we literally started screaming, grabbed onto each other and ran out the store. And I don't know what this feeling was, but we both felt like someone was there with us and it was not a pleasant feeling. So we booked it out of the store, and I can only imagine what the people thought if they were watching the cameras. Like, what are these chicks doing screaming and running out of the store? I don't know. It was weird. It was really weird. And if you talk to anybody that worked in Hollister during my time of working there, they will say the same thing, that it was really creepy and we didn't understand it. So that's all for my story of how I worked in a haunted Hollister. I don't want to hear it about, oh, this is so fake, this is made up. Like, honestly, these things happened. I don't know if they were paranormal, but they seem like they were, don't they? I hope you guys liked this video, and don't forget to check out Meg's video. I will definitely have that link down below. If you believe in the paranormal, then cool. If you don't, that's totally fine. I hope this video was still somewhat entertaining. I don't know. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.